everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's out shopping, and this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Thursday. We're getting there. Weekend's on its way. It's tomorrow. It's Friday Eve, which is very exciting. Very, very exciting for me. So today we are going to have a story time. How I'm doing, how you're doing, how am I, how are you? I don't have a specific story. I'm going to give you the story of what's going on with me at the moment. Um, Check in with some of the resolutions that Mark and I had laid out in a video that we had both done to check in how they're doing. So I'll tell you what mine are and how that's been. I wanted to show off something a neighbor gave to us. So we have a little package here. And otherwise just say how things have been going. What's good, what's bad, what's not. Just to have a real life check-in. There's not too many videos anymore. There's so many here and there that are not about crafting or women who run across the border to go to McDonald's and get trapped, or that's alive or something like that. So we're looking forward to having a little time to rest and just catch up. So it is Thursday. It is March. Couple years ago at this time, I was in a mental ward, the psych ward at the local hospital. 2 years ago? It was 2020. It was February 2020, just into March. So I would have been like 2 weeks out. And it's interesting because I feel very, very mad as a hatter. And it seems to be around the same time of year. It's not predictive, as they used to be. I used to have pretty reliable mood cycles of when they'd come and go. They're not anymore because what complicates it is good on my end, self-care and medications that I respond well to. I'm fortunate, some people don't, but I respond pretty good to meds. And just dumb luck that I respond well to treatment, pretty much. That's the only things that I have going. So I used to be able to tell, oh, this time of year is coming, we'll play with this medication, and then we'll try light therapy, and then, I'm out exercising and it's 0 degrees, but I need the dopamine push I need to burn off the other stuff. So this time of year, 2 years ago, it was too much. For a couple other reasons, it was just too much. Work was stacking up. It felt like too much. So then the following year, of course, was COVID, and now we're here. Life looks a little different today than it did then. I'm still working from home most days of the week. I would say 3 to 4, I'm home. Like tomorrow I have to go into the office. I'll be there all day. So 9 to 4:30 is our scheduled day. So I'll be on campus or at the office for the entire day. Most days I'm not. Most days, if I run in, which we usually don't do, to drop something off, pick something up, and then come back home and finish the day off. But otherwise I'm here, and it's not been bad being by myself, I have to say. Another version of Steve from maybe 10 years ago would have been in and out of the hospital a bit more, given this much isolation. Mark goes out to his job and he has seen his coworkers this whole time. He hasn't been away from anybody. I've had less interaction, but a lot of phone, a lot of Zoom meetings and other things like that. So there's been some. So the farther away I am from certain parts of my life, the more creative I get with what's really happening, i.e. I start making fake shit up and scaring myself. I don't know if you can relate. Today's was imposter syndrome I was having. Got up, normal time. I think I got up right around when Mark got up. And we get him out the door, and then I set up bed office. So bed office is here. In bed office, there's a pillow here. My laptop is here. I have 2 phones in front of me. And then I have all my other things I need here. Cigarettes, a beverage, this, that, and other stuff. And I don't know. I don't mind. Otherwise, when Mark's home, it's bed office day. And I'm working from there, sprawled out like a god. Just returning calls. I wasn't eating grapes or anything, returning calls. So that keeps me a little bit busy. But at the moment, I don't know where the imposter syndrome's coming from. By imposter, I mean that I am a complete fraud. That at my profession and that what I do for work that I've been doing for almost 10 years, today's the day they're going to find out it was all bull. Today's the day they're going to find out that I'm a fraud. I know nothing about what I'm doing. I never did. And it's just been one big game, one big con game with this place so far. It really starts to feel like that. It really starts to feel like I'm not even half qualified to do my work. I look at the other people that I work with and I think, see, they have it all together. They know what they're doing. And then I look at my work and I'm thinking, you're getting by. They probably don't want to fire you because they don't want to fire the company mascot, the mental health guy. So I just kind of write it. I write my accomplishments off completely. They don't count. So I'm kind of burnt out from work in that way. Physically, I'm doing okay too. Still twitching and burning. Which is not fun. I'm having those like in the legs and everything. I see the neurologist finally next month after waiting for 5 from my referral to be seen because I'm having also now memory problems, which is not something I like. I don't like being confused. I don't like knowing I'm confused. I don't like knowing that I'm experiencing confusion. If I was all confused and out of it, then it wouldn't be a big deal, but I'm aware that I'm slipping. My hugest fear ever, more than death, is losing my mind. I have to say, like a week ago, something came up. And this was something between me and Mark and our pharmacy. And I just, it was the first time I felt like nuts in a while. So I have to go to our pharmacy, which we've since switched because they closed on 3-day notice. Figure that out. Rite Aid bought them. It was a little mom and pop place that we liked. And I had to go up there and get a refill on one of my prescriptions. And with insurance, you can only get so many at what time, and you can only fill this many up to here, like 2 weeks of this and 2 weeks of that. And with your insurance, you have to wait till the whole thing is done, or they won't pay. So I went and I said, I'm due for the rest of my prescription. And they said, oh, no, you don't have it here. I'm like, what? I must. So I look on the thing and it says I was supposed to have this many. And they look at it and said, yeah, we gave you that many. I'm like, you can't have. So I go back to the car and I call Mark. I'm like, Mark, could you look at the bag at home? I don't think these match the numbers. I think I'm supposed to have twice as much as I took. I don't understand. And he's like, well, did you get confused? Or did you misunderstand how to take it? And he's concerned. He's concerned because I do get confused and I do make mistakes like that. But that day I was feeling particularly sane and I felt not believed. It was the first time I felt not believed at all in a very long time. So, of course, it was a pharmacy mistake. And the whole thing sorted itself out. And as much as I was like, felt untrusted, kind of, and it wasn't by Mark, because Mark's doing what I would do with him, which is, let's be real and get some of the bullshit out of the way. Did you really lose your meds? Did you take too many? Did you lose them and not be embarrassed about it and not want to tell me because you thought I would think you were losing your mind, as if that needs to be said out loud? So that came up over a period of, it was a couple weeks ago, and everything got sorted out. Everything's fine, and the pharmacy's fine, and the doctor is fine, and I was just going through the motions of this, but I was the person with like the least credibility. I always think I'm the person with the least credibility and that all these awful things are going to happen. But when they finally pan out in one circumstance, like with my, pharmacy only giving me half my pills thing, I was mad. I was mad. And then I was upset afterwards too. So luckily everything has changed. We got a new pharmacy, not Rite Aid because I hate Rite Aid. And we'll be getting all of our meds filled from there. This dovetails nicely into resolutions, actually. If you guys remember when we were talking about resolutions, probably it was right after New Year's, a couple weeks after New Year's, January 15th, 21st, somewhere in there. And I had a couple of mine. Mark will share with you his when he's here. It was for me to stabilize on my meds because my goal for the year, and maybe 2 years, is to reduce the volume of each medication I'm taking, but also the number of meds I take. Polypharmacy, hello, how you doing? I take a lot of meds. I've been to a couple shrinks over the years, and it seems like when they add one medication, they never take it off, and they add another, and then this one's for the side effects. And I'm okay with that as opposed to the rubber room, but it's starting to catch up to me a little bit. I've had X-rays and MRIs and all this other stuff. All I'm due for is the neurologist now, and they can't find any reason for the fact that I would have twitches. The most obvious is that I take a bunch of freaking antipsychotic medications that will make me twitch, but nobody wants to pursue that yet. The shrink doesn't want to pursue it yet because all they're going to do is say switch his meds around so he doesn't shake. And then we get to have fun for another 6 months till I come back again after we change meds. It's mixed in with this imposter syndrome is some poor me stuff, which is so disgusting because I think I haven't mentioned this in a while. Self-loathing and self-pity is so unattractive. It is so unattractive. No one wants to be around it. I don't want to be around me when I'm like that. But it happens. And I was feeling a little sorry for myself over that whole thing. Nobody kissed me. For years, I was unbelievable. I mean, I've mentioned to you guys that dishonesty was like my stock in trade. And when dealing with matters that could be, you're talking about pills going missing in a house where 2 people with substance issues live. It's not surprising that there would be questions about it. And I've said before, if we had issues dealing with treatment, dealing with saying one of us has a problem, the only boundaries we have is that if you have, relapsed or slipped or whatever you want to call it, the next decision is, what do you do? Are you going to get treatment or are you going to do nothing? If you get treatment, I'm right behind you. If you're going to do nothing, I'm moving back in with mom. So I don't know. So that's where the med things sort of lay. I'm going to probably have to wait until I'm a little more stable on the meds and emotionally too. I mean, I'm not as stable as I'd like to be. I don't know if a lot of people are, but I'm really not as stable as I'd like to be right now. So that's that. Other goal, weight loss. Okay. Small victories on the way to weight loss. Now, I'm not keeping I don't have emoticons with a big flashing weight loss thing and my total weight before, because it ain't that serious. I can't let it get that serious for me. I don't want to make a game show out of it because I get really invested into really dumb shit, and the next thing I know, I will be a skeleton. It goes, I know you're thinking maybe not, probably not, whatever. I have some old photos. It's not something I want to engage in. So I'm still towing the line between healthy eating, self-care, and disordered thinking and disordered eating. 2 non-scale victories this week included, I'm onto Mio now. When we got the soda stream, the thing where you put the water in and it sprays. Well, Mark got me some Mio with it, and you can mix it and make recipes. And I hadn't really been using it, so I put some of the lemonade in to the sparkly water. So good. And then I had some of the berry one. So I'm drinking a lot of actual water with a little Mio in it. It's better than soda. So I've stayed rather hydrated, actually. It's only been over the last 3 days I got serious with that. Good, bad, maybe either or. I almost don't drink coffee anymore. My anxiety has been rough, and I'm not doing myself any favors by amping myself up during the morning, which is a particularly messy time for me. I just don't want it anymore. It's just too anxious. I get too anxious. I have trouble sleeping if I have a cup of coffee after noon. This is what I mean when I say a little too volatile, a little too fragile to start playing with my meds. If I'm so volatile that I can't have a cup of coffee because it makes me anxious, then I'm not in a place when I can start playing with that part of my treatment. If everything was, copacetic otherwise, then we could probably get started soon. But until I can pull it together and be functional again, and not just faking functional, but being actually functional, I'm pretty good at faking sane. I think a lot of people are. A lot of the people we follow obviously aren't, but there's a decent enough number of people who just go about their business day to day, and you wouldn't know they had anything going on underneath that they were just everyday Joes and Janes and Jims and Jane X and, all of us. So, good for that. I'm doing good with water. I've been eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, like every night, to keep that moving. I'm still doing intermittent fasting, so I'm having uh, OMAD, really, 1 meal a day. I don't pick during the day. I have diet soda or Mio water for most of the day. And then at night, we have a little charcuterie while we watch a spooky show, and then have dinner before bed. And my dinners lately have been, I'll do what I ate today if people are interested. Like, I'll give you an example. My dinners have been like a bagel with, like, I'm not following anything. It's food. It's food. Before I get to that, the other non-scale victory moment, I was making my food. I was having some Greek yogurt, fat-free, with some bran cereal and blueberries. Sounds good, right? Sounds light. Sounds like you couldn't mess it up. So I have a little Tupperware, and I'm putting the yogurt in, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, it says the serving's 3/4 of a cup, 130 calories. Does that look like a 3/4 of a cup? I think it's too much or it's too little. And I go to reach for the measuring scoop, and I'm like, put the fucking thing down. It's yogurt. For God's sake. It's not that deep. Put it back. My voice of recovery is just as obnoxious as my voice of addiction. It just has good ideas instead of bad. But it's still as precocious and obnoxious. Put that damn fucking thing back. You're not measuring spoonfuls of yogurt. You are not that sick anymore. So, I didn't. I put it back, and I put a glob in the bowl, however much I wanted, and then put a handful or two of cereal, however much I wanted, and a handful or two of blueberries, however much I wanted. And that was part of my dinner that night. So that was good. That was more of a staying away from sick behaviors, eating disorder behaviors. Not that measuring your food is bad. I know somebody out there's on keto and they measure everything down to the last crumb. But for me, it is not mentally healthy to obsess to that level because it takes me to a different place. It doesn't take me to abs. It takes me to visible hip bones. It's different. And it's not important to me to look like that, to be like ripped up or anything like that. I like to be thin, but I don't care enough about it to not eat anything that tastes good ever again for the sake of what? For what? So that's let's see, we've covered resolutions. Oh, the actual weight. My starting weight was embarrassing, so I don't want to say it, but oh fuck, I will. I was down to 180 and I gained pretty much all of it back, which it had me at 230 or so when I got on the scale. So after going for a few weeks, it's dropped down to about 226. So when I was losing before steadily, I lost about 6 pounds a month. Wasn't going quickly. But I think between being hydrated, the charcuteries are actually relatively healthy that Mark makes. They have like lean meat, some light cheese, fruit, and stuff like that. So by having that and then eating my meal, I don't want dessert. That takes the edge off of that too. So, I don't know. Mark will be home soon. Then everything will be okay. I get lonely. I feel like such a child. I'm like, not that, I know loneliness is a real thing, and I know real people get lonely. But for some reason, I have this stupid idea that somehow I'm supposed to be not above that in a superior way, but away from that, in that I don't indulge in such things as emotions. I'm aware of them and I acknowledge them, but I process them well. And so I don't cry like that. And so I don't carry on like that because I'm too smart to be amused and bemused and upset by that. That's not me at all. Like, at all. I can put it on from 9 to 4 when I'm at work, but like when I get home from work, I need a little time to like relax. I think Mark does too. It's why he came home and he went shopping and I'm filming. So here we are. So I have to say 2 more things. One, this is a beautiful, beautiful gift basket that had a card. This helped my day be so much better. There was a knock on the door at around 4 o'clock. And I thought, Mark's home early. The landlord's here. I knew it was bad news because it's that kind of day. And it wasn't. It was our downstairs neighbor, who's very nice. we had given her a Christmas present, like in January, like after Christmas. And she had said at the time, "Oh, thank you. I don't celebrate Christmas, so I don't have a gift for you, but I want to get y'all something because you're so nice." Like, we shovel the sidewalk and that kind of crap. And she's down there with this harem of like all these kids and making noise, and I'm like, don't even worry about it. You've got other fish to fry. So she comes up today, knocks on the door, and hands me this. This is a beautiful, thoughtful gift. There is a thing from Edible Arrangements in here. And it's all fruit, no chocolate. That was the thing, wasn't it? There's no chocolate on it, so I have fruit for my munching. Chocolate-covered strawberries, half a dozen. This is from the lady downstairs, and she gave it to us just because we were nice. So you can't... I didn't know nice was so profitable, so rare that you could sell it. But apparently, she gave us some Vino Rosa, Cabernet. So we don't drink. Oh, organic grapes. And she went all out, too. I mean, suffice it to say, this was a much, much nicer gift than I was expecting, and I'm very grateful that she did it. How do you kill a bottle of wine with 2 drinkers in the house? Well, we can make cocoa vin, where you can put the whole bottle in all at once. Or Mark could stash it for cooking wine. We'll figure it out. I was not a wine drinker, but I don't want to find out if I like it again. So I just assume we'll have this. It won't be around for long, and it won't get drunk. Put it that way. So that came with it. And then she got these candles from Better Homes and Gardens. This one is Blue Fern and Citrus. You have to be here. It's so good. It smells like, I don't know. It's kind of perfumey, kind of cologne-y. I mean, it doesn't smell like gay bar, but it smells cologne-y a little bit. So this helped me up at the end of the day. And it was so for nothing. Like, it just because she wanted to show us some appreciation for living above her upstairs. And she just wanted to do something nice. So that knocked me out of my self-centeredness. A couple other things did too. So someone brought a gift. That was nice. I watched some of the news. I'm not in the Ukraine. I got over myself a little faster after that. I'm going to do some cleaning and maybe prep for dinner. I don't know if Mark's buying anything. So I'm going back today from this point on with chores of the day just to get some sign of whatever. I worked from home today, but I don't feel like I did anything. All you do is open and close your laptop. And it's like, work done. So I'm going to feel like this was really worth, it was a worthwhile day. Do some stuff around the house. And then Mark will edit this when he gets home. So you'll see this then. Because it's like 7 o'clock, but it'll probably be like 8 or 9 o'clock by the time he gets this up. So just be patient. Mark will also be checking in with everybody for either a how are you doing or a real talk sort of thing with how Mark's been doing. Physically, he's had some challenges and, mentally comes with it too. And I think he wanted to catch you guys up on some of that. So I'll put a bug in his ear to see if he wants to get on that maybe in the next couple weeks or so. So thank you all for listening to me. This may have been a very selfish video where I just wanted to talk and have it be more for me than you, if I'm being honest. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And again, this is How Am I, How Are You? If you've got something going on in your life, good news, challenging news, whatever's going on, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And if you need a little support, sometimes people can offer a little support down there too. So don't hesitate, okay? Leave something. People care. They do. Help comes from the weirdest places. So people care. I'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's just a rough afternoon. So thank y'all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram. Our email address and contact info is all listed below as well. Thank you again, and I believe we will catch up with you tomorrow. I think we'll catch up with you tomorrow. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.